the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on.
Okay, my Street Dog family, you hear that theme song, then if you are not a first timer, you would know that it's time for me to say good night to the world. Time for me to say welcome to another edition of Straight Talk. And we are coming to you from the beautiful Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, two beautiful islands, one lovely paradise. So I'm duty bound, rather, to say good night to St. Kitts and Nevis, and good night to the entire Caribbean region. And to all of you in the Kittitian and Nevision diaspora, I say greetings one more time. And I know some of you are in Africa. There are some of you in Asia. There are some of you in Europe. And there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I can't say good morning, and I will also say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And for the first timers, welcome. And I thank all those who continue to share the link. So when you do, that's the result. We get first timers. And if you are here for the first time, I trust and hope it would not be your last time. And like I say to everyone, if you love straight talk, tell it to the whole wide world. If you do not love straight talk, come look for me, find me, and tell it to me. But for the first time, Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free, underline, free expression on all issues, be they of national interest, in particular of national interest, I should say, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. On this program, we try as well to raise the level of discourse. We try as well to raise the level of national discourse by alerting all our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And as your host, I pledge at all times to remain an untiring, I should say, advocate of truthfulness. And I'm reminded most times of the words of a favorite hymn of mine, and an excerpt goes something like this: we are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. So let us seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. So my Straight Talk family, especially for you first timers, absolutely nothing is watered down on this program. To make it more interesting, not by omission, neither by exaggeration. Straight Talk is not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy. We lean on the facts, as it is my bounden duty to present what I call the unvarnished truth, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance, transparency, accountability, in St. Kitts and Nevis, or wherever you are in this world. Because this program joins us together with people across our federation, and we are joined with people in the diaspora around the world. Some we know very well, some we have met, and some we will never ever meet, physically that is. And others we do not know. But some of us will agree with the positions of truth we try to advance on Straight Talk, and some will disagree, and that's acceptable. Because we are a different people, we entertain diverse views, different views. It's fine. But what will sadden me is if we ever become disagreeable. So my Straight Talk family, let us thank Almighty God for helping us to understand, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for that special day when we will all sing his praise together. Welcome again, my people, and thanks for those who share the link. As you bring first-timers, please to continue to do so. And I must remind you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls, we include your emails, and if you're so minded, call in. The numbers are on your screens. There's some of you who like the cloak of anonymity, I call it, and we give you access via our email platform. That address as well is on your screen. One word, Straight Talk Patches @gmail.com. And some of you have the Alexa app. Let me remind you, we also heard live on Alexa. If you have that app, just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio. And we thank our good brother who continues to provide us access via that medium at a nominal cost. And as we speak about costs, some of you have made the donations. Please do not stop to support our efforts here on Straight Talk. For those who have that, I say a big, big thank you. May I also reassure you that no matter what is your contribution, it helps us to continue this very important service. Yes, it's a public service. So others who may wish to donate can simply scan the code on your screen to access a payment form. And it's a very simple process. In just under a minute, you should be done with whatever you determine is your support. So thank you again and for helping us to keep the dialogue alive. We will never as well forget our junior brigade and the special lady in St. Louis. Here's what. I'm going to see you soon. Young Dwayne, Tristan, Shama, Kevin, Young Rue, Jamal, Travis, Traban, Neymar, my grandson. I think he's gone to bed. How is Soraya? Trust you are doing well. We normally start with our observations in review, and I'm minded to forego my observations tonight because I know our observations are an integral part of the program. But this theme, this thesis tonight is a very important one as well, and I would want us to absorb the moments because it's important we do not be taken to and remain in what I call a sea of ignorance. We are surrounded here by water. And after our observations, we normally move into our thesis. And our thesis for tonight, I've titled A Bunch of Modern-Day Dr. Goebbels. So don't you change the platform, just spread the word that Straight Talk is live on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Alexa. And I start on a very sad note because it's with a great deal of sadness that Straight Talk acknowledges the passing of culture. So many times you ask me, what's become of culture? And it's sad to announce tonight that he has gone to the great beyond. Vincent Benjamin, his right name, from over Buckley's, that's where I knew him first, and he found a home in Lodge. I first knew him as a cyclist, and one of the best cyclists in the Federation, I may add, who represented St. Kitts Nevis with heart and with great distinction. Whether he came up against, I think, as Lappy from Monkey Hill, they always had this rivalry. Or whoever culture gave it his all. We will remember him most for his community and political activism. He runs this program. We crowned culture long ago as the straight talk patriarch. He was always up to date with the issues. Very outspoken, fearless. He feared no one. Culture was not only outspoken and fearless, he was a real patriot who put country above self. And even went to the extent to advise the Jew labor administration, his opponent. But culture vehemently opposed this honesty. I could hear him now calling in and saying things like this.
There are three kind of behavior of the human being that I don't like. And the Bible warns that all men are liars. It did not mean the gender of a man. It means mankind. So I don't like people to tell lies, and I don't like people to thief, and I don't like procrastinators. Those three I don't like. And now, the leader of the government of St. Nevis, Dr. Joe, he like to talk and say, oh, we can do this, I can do that, and then he break ground for this, he break ground for that, he break ground for all kind of thing, and nothing going on. Nothing. And if he know definitely that he cannot do them, don't say you're going to do them. Things could happen. Disappointment does happen when you start to build a house and you have to stop and go back again. But he know definitely that he don't have the expertise or the money, whatever it is to build them. And he give people the wrong impression. They can build 600 houses in a year. And up to now, 2 cannot be completed. So I'm saying this, Dr. Joe, please be honest to yourself.
And my straight dog family, Vincent Culture Benjamin, he said he don't like 3 things. He don't like lies, he don't like people who thief, and he don't like procrastinators. He has left to mourn the PLP family and the Straight Talk family, his children, and of course, the woman in his life and my birth sister, Joan Mitchum, my dear sister Joan. I understand. And it's difficult, I should say, to understand how you feel, because who feels it knows it, as I said to you. But remember, death is a process. So let my Straight Talk family, may the soul of our departed brother, Vincent Culture Benjamin, rest in eternal peace. And my observation for tonight, I'm going to stick to this one observation, because we've been hearing so much about this smart hospital and, on the way. When the hell it will reach, we don't know. We've heard so many things about modern technology in health and so on. But in the meantime, our flagship hospital, the JN France General Hospital, it's really, people are afraid to go to JNF. The misdiagnosis, the lack of care we hear, even coming from a doctor who said in a Facebook post that the patients are dying at the JNF. But one who actually worked there, one who came from the fold, said this. It really stunned me. And why would Jeffrey Marishaw, DJ Marishaw, refer to the JNF in this way, my Straight Talk family?
While employed at the JNF, as I said, I'm an ethical person. I'm not going to come out and speak certain things. And even now, unless I am forced to, I would not say certain things. But when I say that the JNF, the lobby might be upgraded now, but anyone that is working within that institution knows that we have horse tables here in the US, around the globe, that is in better condition than that hospital. And it's not fair to the people. It's not fair to the patients. It's not fair to the staff. People knows the facts. People knows the facts. So why are they covering it up? I don't know.
Go beyond the lobby is what DJ Marishaw is telling us. And you will see something that's worse than a horse stable. And that's my only observation for tonight, my Straight Talk family, because I want to move right into my thesis, which I mentioned moments ago, that I have titled A Bunch of Modern Day Dr. Goebbels. and my Straight Talk family, may I submit that in today's political climate, especially right here in St. Kitts and Nevis, there is a growing public frustration with the perceived dishonesty and manipulation practiced by many of our politicians. Critics have drawn parallels between contemporary political behavior and the propaganda techniques once employed by Joseph Goebbels, the infamous Nazi minister of propaganda in years gone by. Goebbels was known for his belief that a lie, if repeated often enough, becomes accepted as truth. As a matter of fact, it is reported that Dr. Goebbels once said, a lie once told remains, a lie told once, I think that should be, a lie told once remains a lie. But a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth. And this is a tactic that has deeply influenced how misinformation is viewed in the modern era. Our Prime Minister, Dr. Drew, and his self-declared team of experts use this method of telling lies and similar methods today, to wit, distorting facts, spreading half-truths, and strategically using the media to shape narratives that serve personal or partisan goals. It is for those reasons I have come tonight before you with a caption or a thesis that is deliberately provocative. A bunch of modern-day Dr. Goebbels. And it's not a label to be used lightly. I am aware of that. But it reflects a growing public sentiment, a growing public feeling that Terence Michael July and his cabinet have abandoned truth for manipulation and integrity for influence. Joseph Goebbels, the infamous Nazi propagandist, mastered the dark art of twisting facts to control minds. He believed that if a lie was repeated enough, it would become accepted as truth. Disturbingly, this strategy has not been buried in the past. It's alive and well in modern politics and right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Today, misinformation is no longer just a tactic. It's a tool of survival in the political arena. Truth is often sacrificed for headlines, algorithms, and of course for votes. Politicians speak with conviction, not always with honesty. And the line behind or line between spin and outright falsehood grows thinner every day. But let me be clear, my Straight Talk family. This is not just about politicians. It's about the dangerous erosion of trust, even in our institutions, the weakening of informed public discourse, and the threat to democracy itself. We must demand better. We must hold leaders accountable, not only for their policies, but for their truthfulness. Because when lies become strategy and deception becomes governance, we are not led, we are misled. And of course, I like the advice of a former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Patrick Manning, and I played this for you before. He said this.
It raises a question, ladies and gentlemen. If they cannot speak the truth in small things, imagine what they will do in big things. My mother used to say, show me a liar and I'll show you a thief.
And my Straight Talk family, this statement is so true about Terence Michael July. As very early in his prime ministership, he could not speak the truth about small things. Remember the 15 second-hand dialysis machines that he claimed were new? Remember that? So what can we expect now from Terence Drew in big things like the CBI and the SIDF monies? The use of deception by Prime Minister Drew to gain or maintain power undermines the foundations of representative government and weakens civic engagement. So tonight, my Straight Talk family, with your indulgence, I therefore want us to address this matter that cuts to the core of our democratic values, and it relates to our Prime Minister, Dr. Drew, and his entire cabinet of ministers, who I am forced to conclude are all behaving like a bunch of modern-day Goebbels, or Dr. Goebbels. Not surprising to many people, the main culprit, though, is our Prime Minister, Dr. Drew, who was trained in a system where dissent is crushed and conformity is rewarded. He was trained in a rigid communist setting, which must have left an indelible mark on him as an individual. This conditioning does not simply disappear. Oh no. It shapes how one sees power, freedom, and governance. This is not a critique of one's past, but a warning about how ideology, when unexamined and unchecked, can seep into the fabric of modern governance and stifle the very democracy it claims to uphold. We are living in a time when truth is under siege, when truth is twisted, it's bent, and buried beneath 1,000 repeated lies. Dr. Drew reminds us not of vision or courage, but of a darker history of men like Goebbels, Dr. Goebbels, who, as I mentioned earlier, once said, "A lie told once remains a lie, But a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth. But hear this, my Straight Dog family. We must not be fooled. We must not be fooled by the rhythm of deception and the smooth talk. Just because a lie is repeated does not make it truth. Just because it is spoken with confidence does not make it right. As I said earlier, you lied about small things. So what can you expect from him when it comes to big things like the SIDF, my Straight Dog family? You spoke about an audit. Well, Straight Talk has the final audit from EY. Yes, Ernst & Young, known as EY, is a multinational professional services firm. One of the big four, I may add, one of the big four accounting firms that provides audit, consulting, tax, and other advisory services to clients worldwide. Founded in 1989, the global network's oldest component dates back to 1849 through the English firm Harding and Pauline. But what did EY say about Christopher Harbour? Among many things, they said it has a complex business model. Complex tells us that there are too many unknowns. When we go to this company, my Straight Dog family, what we find is a tangled web of businesses. Call it tonight the Body Derby tangled web. So we ask ourselves whether the muttering idiot found the 30% he claims that the SIDF owns, and what is the value? Has he found it by searching this tangled web? Now let us look, my Straight Dog family, at the sales activity of Christopher Harbour up to 2015 when Team Unity got into office. It's on your monitors, my Straight Dog family. And you can see, if you read sections 1 and 2 to the right of your screens, it says 2 primary revenue generators for KHT JV LLC includes the sale of real estate lots and the recent commencement of sales of marina slips. Read 1 there, real estate lots. And it reads, and I quote, my Straight Dog family, since its inception to December 2015, Christopher Harbour has sold 100 lots and derived revenue of US $123 million. Hear me? 100 lots at US $123 million, my Straight Dog family. And that's a lot of money, don't you think? $123 million, my Straight Dog family. That's a lot of money. Put that in our dollars. That's over $332 million. For land, they got 854 acres or 52 acres for $17 million. $17 million. And look at that. Their sales of 100 lots, $123 million US dollars, are worth almost $340 million. That's what they collected. He said there was a sharp decline in lot sales from 23 in 14 to 9 in 2015. My straight dog family. Look at Marina slips to 2. Sales of Marina slips commenced in 2015 with a total of 10 slips sold, generating US $17.2 million, my straight dog family. $17.2 million. If you're my maths, and that's always my strongest weak point, I'm always cautious not to get into mathematics. But $17.2 million, my straight dog family. How much you get that? Tell me, my straight dog family. That's well $17.2 million. That's just under $50 million. Let's carry it to the nearest. But my straight dog family, this is what transpired. And he has not paid back National Bank 1 cent of the money he borrowed. Not 1 cent, my straight dog family. You know why, my straight dog family? Take a look at the position. Because obviously, if he has this tangled web of companies, then there should be no surprise. Because with the body derby tangled web I showed you earlier, it must have been very easy to cook the books. Cook the books, my straight dog family. And when you look at the books or the financial position at a glance, in 2015, the total assets was $76 million, which includes or they related to the developed and underdeveloped real estate, inventory, construction in progress, and cash, as shown in the chart to your left, my straight dog family. But look at the liabilities. The total liabilities, almost as much as the assets, $70 million, my straight dog family. Approximately 85% related to third-party debt and related party debt, as shown in the chart. My straight dog family, it speaks to the loans. But you see, who will be surprised with the financial position when, as I said, the body derby tangled web makes it easy, very easy, my straight dog family, to cook the books. But of importance though, my straight dog family, and this is all coming from the EY report, the EY audit report done and submitted in 2017. But what must be of importance though is EY's analysis of the future state of Christopher Harbour and the returns to the SIDF, my straight dog family. It's on your screens. Look at it, my straight dog family. It's straightforward. Look at returns to SIDF. And let us read that together. Let us read that together, my straight dog family. In the right-hand corner, 5 returns to SIDF. Well, first of all, it spoke to future development. And you see what's outstanding? Golf course. 1,800 more homes, lots. A beach club. Desalination plant. But go to the returns to the SIDF as we were going earlier. And let's read that together, my straight dog family. Currently, interest-only payments are being repaid to the SIDF on the US $60 million loan advanced to KHT. It is uncertain when KHT would be in an adequate cash position to commence repayment of principal sums. And this muttering idiot keeps talking about $17 billion investment. Hear this again. Interest-only payments are being repaid to SIDF on the US $60 million loan. But go to paragraph 2, the second paragraph. Let's read that together, my Straight Dog family. Year to date, lackluster performance trends and recent requests by KHT for waiver of interest payments suggest that a positive return to SIDF on its investment in Christopher Harbour is in jeopardy in the short term. Furthermore, continued losses of many of KHT's subsidiaries will continue to depress returns to SIDF in the short term. And my Straight Dog family, I gave you that overview of the situation back then with the SIDF. I hope it was not complicated. And based on what we read, the prudent, the wise thing to do was to get the 430 acres of land that Buddy Darby agreed to transfer. Get that land and run as far and as fast from Buddy Darby. And that's what Team Unity under Tim Harris tried to do. And I showed you this on my last podcast, my Straight Dog family, and it bears repeating. It's not a lie, it's the truth. And go to paragraph 2 again, my Straight Dog family. I read this. I wish to restate Cabinet's position and address to Buddy Darby in July 26, 2018. Go to paragraph 2. I wish to restate Cabinet's position on the main points with the exit of the SIDF from KHT joint venture. A, we expect that 400 acres of land at Turtle Beach will be transferred from Christopher Harbour to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. And B, this land must be unencumbered, free, and clear. And this letter, as you can glean from your monitors, your screens, was signed by Timothy Harris, then Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. But, my Straight Dog family, I also need to remind you that Buddy Darby himself, Buddy Darby confirmed. Buddy Darby confirmed the agreement via email, my Straight Dog family, on even date of the letter. He said, "Thank you for your letter," addressed to the Prime Minister then, Dr. Timothy Harris. "Thank you for your letter of today, July 26, 2018, he wrote. "I appreciate the movement in the government of St. Kitts and Nevis on Nevis's position since my email of July 16, 2018. Why don't Dr. Drew produce those emails? They are in the file. Put them on SKNIS and done with your Goebbels strategy. I am willing to travel this weekend and work next week with my team in order to bring this to a mutually successful conclusion." That's what Buddy Darby said. What is he saying about giving away Christopher Harbour? My Straight Dog family, go down quickly to paragraph 4, which starts, "I am in the process." And let's read that together. "I am in the process of engaging a surveyor to update the Turtle Beach land. When I arrive, I will have a timetable for its completion, beg your pardon. What else do you need? So what can you come to tell this country about selling out Christopher Harbour? He lies like when is trotting. But Terence Michael July also spoke about the airport. But I will address the airport on a subsequent program, my Straight Talk family. I will address the airport on a subsequent program. However, I must say that there is a principle that should guide every responsible administration: the belief that government is continuous. My Straight Talk family. Regardless of political transitions, the ultimate responsibility of leadership is to serve the people and ensure the nation's long-term interests. This means that worthwhile projects, especially those that promise sustainable development, energy security, and economic growth, must transcend politics, my Straight Talk family. Take, for example, we must not forget the solar farm project in St. Kitts. This is more than an energy initiative. It was an investment in our future, one that would have reduced our dependence on imported fossil fuels, one that would have lowered energy costs, create green jobs, and move us closer to our climate goals. But what did Terence Michael Drew and his cabinet do? Abandon such a project because it was initiated by a previous administration. Would not only be wasteful, it was not only wasteful, but it would have been it was economically irresponsible. If it's one true thing, his special advisor, Edinburgh, said was this, my Straight Talk family.
It is a good project based on our own studies, calling in the expertise from right in the Caribbean to assess. It's a good project. Mm-hmm. They feel that it was properly assessed and the costing was within the range of what it would cost anyway to do that.
A good project, he said, my Straight Talk family. Those were the words of his special advisor. But we must understand that good governance, my Straight Talk family, is not about ownership of ideas, but about stewardship of progress. When we inherit a vision that aligns with national interests, it is not just prudent, it is essential that we continue that project. In doing so, we send a clear message that our commitment is not to party or personality, but to the people and the prosperity of our nation. Regardless of political transitions, the ultimate responsibility of leadership is to serve the people and ensure the nation's long-term interests. Drew was educated under a strict communist regime. He was taught that control must be centralized and that opposition is not a sign of a healthy democracy, but a threat to be neutralized. And that is exactly what Drew continues to do to Mark Brantley. He neutralized Mark Brantley, and the reason we have no opposition in Parliament. Think about it. But we must remain vigilant, my Straight Talk family. Democracy is not just about elections. It's about openness, accountability, and the ability to disagree without fear. Let us defend it, not just from external threats, but from those within who were taught a different way and never truly let it go. My Straight Talk family, we must hold on to truth in the time of deceit. We know this instinctively because our grandparents knew it. Mine used to say, where you find a liar, you find a thief. Lies steal more than facts. They steal trust. They steal dignity. and they steal our ability to stand together on common ground. We now face a choice: remain silent in the face of dishonesty, or speak up for truth, for accountability, for the values that make a society just and strong. It is easy to dismiss lies as just words. But when a leader lies, like when a horse is trotting, naturally, constantly, without shame, it becomes a form of control. A culture of deceit becomes a weapon. And a society that accepts lies without resistance is a society that begins to lose itself. Let us not become numb. Let us not become indifferent. The fight for truth is not a political fight. The fight for truth is not about politics. The fight for truth is not about morality. It is a moral one. And it belongs to all of us. We must be the ones who say enough. Enough distortion. Enough manipulation. Enough pretending that leadership without integrity is leadership at all. In times like these, my Stray Dog family, telling the truth becomes a form of resistance. And standing for truth becomes an act of courage. Let us, therefore, be courageous together. Terence Michael July was asked how Safe Harbor got involved. What was the sale price? He was asked, my Stray Dog family. He was asked whether the government was involved in the negotiation. He was asked this, my Stray Dog family.
Basically, what I'm asking is the involvement of Safe Harbor into the Christopher Harbor situation. How did they get involved? That's my first thing. Secondly, what was the sale price agreed upon between the parties, and was government involved in that negotiations?
Straightforward questions, my Stray Dog family. And Drew provided no sensible answer, my Stray Dog family. He went rambling around, as we say, the mulberry bush.
Did not know this. Wait, hold on. You asked about a couple other things with respect to the sale of Christopher Harbor and who made the approach. Let me tell you what is happening in the investment world. A lot of people are approaching from one direction or the other and say, look, we are interested in this property. The government has its interest. The government has its interest. Even if the government did not own 30%, any large property to be sold in St. Kitts and Nevis, with respect to our development, we can have a say. With respect, what we can't do is try to own what we don't own. That is a whole different matter. Unless you're going to go to what you call eminent domain, which you have to compensate the people for fully, based on the market price and the loss projected on their land. That is a whole different argument. And so, once they came forward, because we had multiple people came forward, we would investigate them and see, which one looks most credible, which one you can have that conversation. Because a lot of people come forward. That is why, when you're in government, you have to be so careful in terms of who you would engage. You will never get it perfect. There are some people who would look shiny and everything checks out and it can go bad. But you at least have to make sure that you start off on a good foot. And this was a reputable company, and we started discussions in earnest to help to facilitate it, because this government wants to create an environment for foreign direct investment. That is what any government should do. Create the environment for foreign direct investment, because if a country does not have foreign direct investment, it cannot survive properly in this world. Look at America, seeking to get all the foreign direct investment, and they're the largest economy in the world. They want all the investments to come to America. You hear the Saudis investing, the Qataris investing, the Emiratis investing. Well, I want them to invest here too. Why not? We have an environment for investments. They are welcome to invest in St. Kitts and Nevis, as everybody else around the world is investing. So we were intimately involved with respect to them. Even though this is a private sale. This is a private sale that was taking place, but we want to make sure that when private people come to the table, we create the enabling environment for them to be able to conduct their business.
What did he say, my Street Dog family? Do you know? You never said what the sale price was. Otherwise, we would have known whether Buddy Darby got enough money to pay off his full debt to the National Bank in place of surrendering 434 acres of land to the bank, as ordered by the court. Instead, you told us about the deductions from SCELEC, from Social Security Board and others, which he should not have accepted. Terence Michael July abandoned his responsibility as Prime Minister, and Bradshaw must have turned in his grave, because Drew continued the corruption started by his predecessor, Denzel Llewellyn Douglas. The corruption started in 2005, and 20 years later, Terence Michael July cannot look into the camera and tell the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis two simple things about the Safe Harbor Marina deal. One, how much was it sold for, Terence Drew? What was the sale price, Dr. Drew? Two, how much money Buddy Darby kept from the sale? Two simple things he need to answer. But instead, he glorifies Safe Harbor and a lawyer named Hadia Claxton. And we know all about the Nation of Islam connections with Hadia's brother and so on. He said Hadia Claxton helped to make the deal, and he thanked her.
I want to thank Her Excellency Hadia Claxton, Special Envoy, for her tremendous work on this one. Because this is an American company of high repute. And she is a well-recognized lawyer in the United States, Harvard graduate, who went to school here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Do you know how much it would cost to get somebody like her to work on a deal like this in the United States of America? We can't pay her.
How much would it cost? Did Hadia work for free, Terence Drew? My Street Dog family, do not be fooled. As lawyers in this country have made plenty money from the SIDF, millions they have made. Dylan Abad, for example, Dylan Abad did not go to Harvard, but he made $3 million, at least what we know of. He may have made more, my Street Dog family, but we know he made $3 million from the SIDF. And you must be saying, Patch is gone crazy. No, we always bring you the facts. We are loaded with the facts, my Street Dog family. And this came from the EY report. It says Dylan Abad QC, as shown in table 30, in total over the period July the 13th to February 2015, Dylan Abad QC was paid almost $3 million by the SIDF. The nature of the services are below. We bring you the facts, my Street Dog family. How much did the Harvard lawyer get? Did she work for free, Terence Drew? But Dylan Abad was not alone, my Street Dog family. He was not. Because there's a Michael Martin as well. Michael Martin is not a lawyer. And as far as I know, Michael Martin did not go to Harvard. And he made $3 million as well from the SIDF, my Street Dog family. This is from the audit report. Terence Michael Drew must read that report and stop pulling out nonsense about emails. These are the facts the country need to know. And you must publish those reports so we can see them. Publish the full report. Publish it, Terence Drew. Michael Martin, it says, was paid approximately $2.8 million for secretary's fees and management fees. My Straight Dog family. So he made money. He made millions too. And we'll hear much more about who else made money. Another lawyer made millions as well. And his wife is on the run, even though her government is in office. So had you work for free, Terence Drew? Well, Terence Michael Drew and his cabinet wants to keep us on these two islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, surrounded by a sea of ignorance. And as our island of knowledge grows, he wants the seashores of ignorance to grow. And we must say, hell no to this bunch of modern day Goebbels. My Straight Dog family. And that's my story tonight. And I am not going to change it. So I will open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. I know Goebbels is responsible for spreading extreme disinformation and inciting hatred between Harris and the people of St. Kitts Nevis. Like Goebbels, Dr. Drew thrives on creating division amongst our people as he tries to turn groups of citizens against one another. But my Straight Dog family, I'll open the lines. On this program, you are allowed to have your say. So it's your time to have your say. I always like to implore you, though, that when I open the lines and entertain your calls, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let's just try to be fair to all concerned. Let's just try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us, my Straight Dog family, strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, I go to the lines and say good night to our first caller. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night, my dear.
The quote for this evening.
Okay.
There will come a day when all the lies will collapse.
Come a day when all the lies will collapse.
Collapse under their own weight.
Collapse under their own weight.
And the truth will triumph again.
Own weight. And the truth will triumph again. And the truth will triumph again.
The truth will triumph again.
Triumph again, yeah.
Yeah.
Got you?
I repeat, there will come a day when all the lies will collapse under their own weight and the truth will triumph again. Have a great evening.
Have a great evening, my dear. We always thank you for your very interesting and thought-provoking quotations each time. And this one, there will come a day when all the lies will collapse under their own weight and the truth will triumph again. I think I got that right. The truth will triumph again. Yes, my Straight Dog family, if you have just joined me, we are tonight discussing our thesis, a bunch of modern-day Dr. Goebbels. The lines are now open, and we are entertaining your calls, my Straight Dog family. We've asked several questions. Drew still has not been upfront with the people. He wants to keep us, my Straight Dog family, on these islands, surrounded by a sea of ignorance. We must not allow that, my Straight Talk family. Never should we allow that. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller. Yes, my brother.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, it's a Bible man. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, Mr. Patil.
You're fine.
I am going to read Psalm 91.
Psalm 91. Blessed. How is that good?
And hear what it said here, Mr. Patil. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High.
No, yes. He that dwelleth. Yes. Got you, my brother. Shall abide under the shadow of thy mighty. Yes.
I will say to the Lord, He is my refuge, my fortress. In God will I trust.
Yes.
Surely He shall deliver me from the snares of the fowler.
Noisome fowler, noisome pestilence.
On the night of pestilence.
Yes.
He shall cover me with His feathers. Under His wing thou trust.
Yes.
His truth shall be my shield and buckler.
Yes.
Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night,
nor the arrow
that flieth by day, nor the person that walk in darkness, nor the destruction that come at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, 10,000 at thy right, and it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes thou shalt behold and see the reward of the wicked. Patches, I am going to say there. I am going to tell you something, Patches. You got this man coming on the radio and really interfere with people when he not supposed to. And I am going to tell you, I am going to give him a warning. The word of God says, touch not the Lord anointed, and do his prophet no harm. I just come on the radio and just read the word of God. And if he want to really trouble the man of God, let him go ahead. And then I can tell you something, Patches. In Psalm 37, when the wicked plotted against the just and grindeth his teeth of him, the Lord shall laugh at him because he see his day is coming soon. Patches, good night.
Have a good night as well. The Bible man, yes. Fret not thyself. We go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good night, brother Patches.
Good night, sir.
Good night, attorney Patches. I am proud of you in the explanation. I'm not going to confuse issues tonight.
Please don't, sir.
But I had a point, but I yield to that. Patches, based on your perspective, all the perspectives, the truthful perspective, I am going to the verdict area. In the light of everything that you have explained, this telling me and others that the Christoph Harbour deal is toxic. And when they are toxic, there are toxins. And we got to do a damage control. And for that reason, that deal should be torn up. I don't think it will be torn up by this administration, but the incoming administration, it should and it shall be done. Because toxic is toxic. Why are you going to be continuing the contamination? Okay? There are no one since you're making any argument on any issue has challenged you. So, hey, preponderance upon the evidence that you have provided, the scale has tipped to you, and I have found all these people guilty. guilty of treason, guilty of thieving, and guilty of trying to keep a dark cloud over the people's eye. But no more, hell no, no more. So, in respect to anything else, Christoph Harbour deal should be torn up, because here is it, this man come with a briefcase, a big, big briefcase, and there is no money. And he used our money to get all these things. And he's profiting more than what the whole thing costs moving forward. So, hey, we got to tear the deal up and push whatever invested money or whatever we need back our lands. We need back those lands. That is too value and too much of beneficial to us as the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. I will close there. I will leave for others because everyone have their view. Thank you, my friend. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much as well, my dear brother. And, you know, when we looked at the sales activity, and this is not everything from, because, you know, as I said, there's a tangled web as it comes to the companies in Christoph Harbour. And this is from the sales activities, as you can see it on your screens there. And it says, since its inception that's from 2005 to 2015, or less to 2007, when the agreement was amended. Christoph Harbour has sold 100 lots and collected revenue in the amount of $123 million, almost $350 million. It says there on your monitors, the average price range for these lots range between $400,000 US to US $2.7 million per lot. That's coming from the audit report. Terence Drew must release that audit report. You have it in your possession. Why don't you read it and give us the information and stop spreading your Goebbels propaganda? Caller, I want to thank you for holding you alive. Hello, caller.
Yes, good night, Patrick.
Good night, sir.
How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Okay, thank you. I'm peaceful also. Thanks to receive my call, brother. You know, Patrick, I just want to ask a political question. And my question is that I do a lot of thinking, and I just don't swallow things. And I do a lot of thinking, and I will to get more knowledge. And you're having a conversation. That's what politics is all about. And I'm just having a conversation with you because politics is to have conversation. You have a talk show, so you're having a conversation. So I want to have a conversation with you. Patrick, you said in your statement last week and this week that Christoph Harbour was in agreement to give back the government 400 square feet of land.
Acres.
Acres. Thanks for the correction. You all had 3 years, 2018 to 2022. It is feasible that you could tell me why you all did not?
I didn't say that. You know, I actually provided a letter, which is on the screen. I didn't fabricate that, right? And
right, I understand that. I
also provided a response from Buddy Darby. His email. You saw that too, right?
Right.
You? Okay,
yes, I cite everything.
Okay. And you believe the content?
Well, he said it in the content.
Okay, so you
he said it in the content. If they can't, well, I have. That's what I'm questioning it because.
Why are you questioning it?
If he, because the land.
Because what?
Because they go in the content that you showed there and in your conversation that they was giving you all 400 acres of land in the former prime minister in unity time.
If you believe that, I know I'm trying to guide you here on our discussion because I know how many react with you, but I'd like you to have your say. But so when you see this letter and you see something published by Dr. Drew from 2017 and something about 35 acres, some nonsense, really nonsense. What do you say to yourself? Do you believe that Dr. Drew is right in his mind? You believe that Dr. Drew should be...
Forthcoming, if he's forthcoming.
You like that? Okay, that's a good word, forthcoming. You like that word? I use it.
Yeah.
You think he's forthcoming?
Well, Patrick, to be honest with you, he's a human, and the dilemma I saw in that. This is just my opinion. The dilemma I saw in that the company give you all an offer to give you all 400 acres of land.
That was a straightforward question. You know. You use the word forthcoming, so I want to believe you understand what it means. And I asked you the question: you believe that Terence Michael Drew is forthcoming on the issue?
Well, that is his opinion, his political opinion. But if he's not forthcoming,
I'm not asking his opinion. I'm asking yours. So if you're gonna go,
my opinion, my opinion, and let me answer the question. My opinion in his conversation. You want me to answer that question?
You don't have to.
I don't know if he's forthcoming in his conversation.
You don't know?
No, I don't. Even though I don't know if he's truthful, because politicians are really, really not truthful at certain time. And you know how I look at you all, corruption. So I know you all are not truthful to the people many of the time.
So you believe he's corrupt? Right? You believe that Drew is corrupt?
He's a politician. He's holding the scheme of things. He's a politician, so he's in the line of corruption too, because he's a politician. He's in the line of corruption.
Is he corrupt? Do you believe he's corrupt? I believe he's corrupt.
I'm not saying he's corrupt. I'm not saying he's corrupt.
I believe he's corrupt.
He's serving the same government that hold corruption. But Patches, you're not going to get me in a trap with that.
No,
but listen to me.
I want you to be clear now, because
I am not saying he's corrupt, but he's governing a system that is still with corruption. That's all I want to tell you.
Drew said
he's governing a system that's still with corruption.
Listen to me, right? Drew said this, and I am entertaining you, at the expense of upsetting my straight talk family. But you ought to have your say. Everybody ought to have their say.
You mustn't say I'm upsetting you. You mustn't say you're having a talk show.
Yeah,
a talk show is debate. People you're going to agree and you're going to disagree.
But Drew said this, right?
Be mature, man. Be mature. Don't say I'm upsetting you, because you don't upset me.
No. I'm saying that you at the expense of upsetting someone in the straight talk family, right?
Don't worry about them there, because I'm upsetting them because I speak the truth. I speak the truth. And I come with vital question. I don't worry about those people.
I must worry about them. I have to worry about them, right?
But worry that you're having a talk show and you have to have a debate with somebody. You have to have a conversation. Everybody can't be yes, Patrick. Everybody can't be yes on your show.
He said this.
Come on, man.
He said this.
It's a battlefield. Up into a battlefield, man.
Cool down. Calm down. Don't get so excited. He said this. He said this. Listen to this.
You're deviating. I'm not okay. You want me to Joe? I'm not hearing it.
Oh, you're not hearing it? Okay, I guess you're on your telephone.
Yeah.
He said he don't take nothing under the table. Will you believe that? From what
I
transpired?
believe that. That's his word. That's his word.
Okay,
I
okay.
believe. I have to believe him.
Okay,
I can't judge him. I'm a sinner myself. I can't judge him.
I interrupted you, so I'm gonna give you 5 more seconds to wrap. Just wrap up. I'm sorry.
Okay, but Patrick, let me say. Let me say this, Patrick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna be humble enough. I'm gonna be humble enough to give the Prime Minister opportunity to run the country in his own way, in his own skill, his own ability. Let him make his mistake. His mistake would teach him a lesson. You would make him grow. I would make him a failure.
Okay.
Let him. That's my policy about it. And I said, you all had 4 years. You all had 4 years to 3 years to get back the 400 acres of land, and you all did not do nothing about it.
Okay, got you, my brother. Okay, my brother, thank you for your intervention. Not accurate, to say the least, but that's what Straight Talk is all about. Nonetheless, I go straight back to the lines caller. Hello, caller. Yes, sir. Yes, you're live, sir.
How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Yes, I always peaceful. I want to ask you a question. What you consider to be a good medicine?
Who is this? Who is this? The major.
The major. Yeah.
Sound like you're under the weather.
Well, I just get up, man.
Okay, just got up. And you say what? What?
What you consider to be a good medicine?
A good medicine?
Yes, medicine.
Well, it depends on what you're going to treat. You know?
What you say?
It depends on what you want to treat. What if you have a flu or you have a swollen whatever, you know?
Yes.
It has to be appropriate to. The use must be appropriate, don't you think?
Okay. Yes. So what you think then? What you say sound good. What you think? A good laugh would be a good medicine?
Huh?
A good laugh would be a good medicine?
It's good therapy. You have good medicine for cough. You have good medicine for sore throat. You can have medicine for any ailment you have. For headache, for example. Right?
Yes. Yes, that is true.
Yes.
A good laugh is to lower pressure.
Okay.
You know that?
Okay.
It's supposed to lower pressure.
Okay.
And laughter, of course, is a remedy. No, I'm not laughing about that thing. I'm just thinking how things are going. See? Because it's physical. Having a physical laugh, you know. Having a physical laugh, your heart is happy and it lowers the pressure.
Okay.
You know that?
Okay.
So, what we are saying here is that humor is a good medicine. But someday someday you know when the football and stop using the ball and start getting for the goal post. And when you fall, it is a big credit.
Are you there, Major?
Yeah, I'm here. You're listening? You can hear me now? Hello? Yvonne? That is Yvonne?
Seem to.
I'm here, but you see what you're on now. I'm here. I'm still here waiting to see him. So you got caught up because I just want to make this clear. Because Allah is a good, is that merry thing, man. So to be merry. Once you laugh, you have to be merry.
Okay, that was my bad. I lost you for a while, but that was my bad. I lost you for a while, but that was my bad. I lost you for a while, but that was my bad.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Yes. No, you know it. You see, what I'm saying to you that comparing a laugh is a good exercise, man. It's a good exercise. It points that when persons laugh heartily, several physical benefits. And I don't like how things going to tell you the truth. So sometimes I'm not worried. I'm not going to be stressed because you know, you're a former union man. You know that stress.
Yes.
Stress is a human disease. You stress out yourself, you fall on there, and meanwhile you're dead now.
Yes. Well, laughing stimulates many of your organs, you know.
Yeah.
It helps you to take in oxygen, you know, and it it helps increases things released by your brain, you know. Yes, it activates it and relieve your stress. It does.
Yes,
Yes. Yes,
Major,
right.
Stress is a health hazard.
Yes.
And we have to be careful.
But you've heard about Goebbels, right? Dr. Goebbels.
Right. I'm not going to be this. I haven't heard about it. I heard about it, but I never give things a second thought to that. Because I figure they're saying Dr. Goebbels was called a gamic man, isn't it?
He was a propagandist, you know. And he believed he believed if you tell a lie 1,000 times, it becomes the truth.
Yes.
And I see that around in our country. This plethora, this oversupply of lies. Don't you find it?
Yeah. Well, I listen. Yes, I find some lies. I find some lies. But as I said to you, I consider Goebbels as a gamic man because he's a gamic man, and you heard the word gamic. They try to tell lies to make you and going on ahead believe it's true, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and so I don't give that so much a thought to that, but I talk about this thing. I talk about stress and laughter. I think to laugh something to fall down.
But you think we can just laugh when we have some people behaving like a bunch of modern day Dr. Goebbels?
Well, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. We got to take things serious.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point.
We have to take things serious.
Okay.
You said I only use the word laugh because I laugh is not a friend. I just say something relieve tension. Guys, some of you can only you follow him. Okay. You know that?
Yes.
Okay,
I agree, Major. I agree, and thank you for your intervention. And always good to hear you. You just woke up, so you're not going to sleep now. But have yourself enjoy the rest of the evening, my brother.
Oh, thank you.
That's the Major. You just ask him. Oh, did I disconnect someone in error? If I did, I humbly apologize. But the lines are open, my Straight Talk family. And we are discussing our thesis for tonight, which I've titled A Bunch of Modern Day Dr. Goebbels. Are you there, caller? You're live.
Yes, I'm right here. Pleasant good evening to you.
How art thou? That sounds like Lady Dimples.
I'm excellent. Oh, I'm good.
Good to hear you.
Yes.
Good to hear you.
Yeah. I just want to say now, my condolences to Culture family and to John. Hang in there. Yes. And that is, I would like to tell King Liar, when he telling us lawyer, he must look down on the table. Look down, because he cannot look up. When you tell him lawyer, you just really can't look up to face the counter. When he telling us the truth, he look up. Lawyer for down and truth for up. Because telling you you cannot watch nobody in face and tell them lawyer. So lawyer for look down and truth for look up. So when you look up, I will know he tell the truth. But he always have the eye and the gun, so we know is lawyer he telling us. Every time you hear somebody say arm, and no foot and no hand, look out. There is lawyer coming. So I beg him, please, when you tell us that, got a different grant for them. And to my friend in St. Diamos, but I think Mark Grandy have a show a Wednesday night. Let he go up by Mark. It's Mark and his friend. Boy, feather flap together. And you just have one And then I led my Fakamani and let he go there because people is running from your shop. Show that guy there. He upsetting people, making people sick. So please catch Mark Grantley. Mark Grantley is his friend, and he said Mark Grantley just saying things. So let he go and tap good Mark Grantley show. And leave your show a while because people getting sick of him and tap your show. Please.
Okay.
Have a pleasant night.
Have a pleasant night as well, my dear lady with the dimples. Always good to hear you. And this message reads, Patches, in all fairness to Dr. Drew, Dr. Harris was aware of these millions of dollars paid to Mikey Martin and others, and he said nothing about it. That was a major failure on his part and vexing to the PLP supporters. Well, this, in the event you're trying to find it out, this came from the audit report of E&Y, Ernst & Young, and this is what you should be telling us about, and this Nancy stories about email and 35 acres, all kind of nonsense. But let's go back to the lines, and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Liburd. How are you this evening?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
You know who's speaking, right?
Yes, I recognize that voice. Kalikwan? Kalikwan?
Yes, Kalikwan Aunt.
Kalikwan, yes. Kalikwan's aunt, yes.
Yes. Tonight is another Thursday night. And with a Thursday night, he gets his death at Whitegate with that officer Jeffords. And up to now, the commissioner there, the so-called commissioner, he corrupt up to now, Mr. Liburd, my brother ain't get justice, you know. But force can make water go uphill. Take it as me tell you, Mr. Liburd, tonight.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kalikwan's aunt, right? I believe I read a release from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force.
Yes.
It was just published. And it said that the police force or no police vehicle was involved. Is that a fabrication?
That's a lie. That's a lie, Mr. Lloyd, because when he knocked off Kalikwan after the motorbike, he lashed him from behind, send him up in the ear.
But
when Kalikwan come down, he jumped and he had any breaking it, and he still runs on him again.
So, was there any eyewitnesses?
If there was eyewitnesses?
Yeah, anybody witnessed it?
That's right. I don't know the gentleman's name.
And
He take for the gentleman's phone and he mash up the gentleman's phone, slap up the gentleman and tell him go hush him out. But God not sleep and he now we underpants.
And the gentleman has gone quiet, you saying?
If the gentleman gone quiet, the gentleman don't say his statement already. He don't say his statement already.
To the police?
About the police, what he done to Kalikwan that night. But Mr. Liburd, what happened in the dark, you know, he surely have to come out in the light. Yes, he surely have to come out in the light. And the next thing again, think it's going dull,
I'm sorry, I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but I know you keep coming with this, right? And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. You spoke to that gentleman?
If I spoke to that gentleman?
Somebody in your family spoke to the gentleman?
Yes, somebody spoke to the gentleman and the gentleman spoke to somebody.
Okay.
So he ain't going on the jail.
Okay.
And he ain't going to job just like that.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Kalikwan never no dog. He never owned a child. He's a mother and a father child.
Okay.
And the next thing again, this prime minister, where they say they got ya. This kind of prime minister, where they say they got ya. All the young people, them, boys, them, give them money to go to war, and see where everybody facing and getting. Eh? See where people facing and getting today. Eh? When they don't come out, everybody ball in the own a ball. Then where they find the bus free? And morning time people going to work, that's the time the bus them having people. But in the middle of the day, nobody in the bus empty. Think it's not going to, you know, Mr. Lloyd, but think it's not going to, you know. These power hacks, was that rule, and I want think it need to come out, you know. They ain't fit to be the prime minister, they ain't fit to India, they don't know what shit what they're doing. There's little small boy, they ain't have the full experience. Why the hell they don't give a tip to the government? Nobody pocket got no money. Nobody post got in the money. Couple minutes from now, soon and very soon, you gonna see people light bill and water bill and cable bill and all kind of bill cut out because nobody got no money. That's when you take in the people and money and it's going flying every minute here and it cabal them. What the hell is this? So when it's done, we think it, what are we going to do? Are we going to eat one another? Oh, they need to get the weed and get him out inside here before poverty done here already. Poverty done here already, Mr. Liburd.
Okay.
And the next thing again, I see the man from New York was say the 10,000 every month. I see the other sometime this week here. All over in swell. Are the 10,000 swelling? It seems to me like the 10,000 where he get every month, which are shit to the Prime Minister as swelling out. From his head good and swell. I look at him and say that man sick. The 10,000 where you get and make him sick. Talking shit to the Prime Minister.
Okay.
Eh?
Okay, well.
And people get trying to say shit on all say that. They already the people put them in the park. They already put them in the park. Shame on them. They need to take the backside out and go home and pack up and go. Because they don't have shit where they do. They can't run the country. They don't have the full experience. Give back to the Prime Minister. Give back the government.
Okay, collect
and everybody want that money, they suck it again.
Yes. Okay.
You have a good night, Mr. Liburd.
Have a good night as well. Have a good night as well. Kalikwan's aunt, as you recognize yourself. Trust you'll get closure to that troubling matter you keep raising. And my Street Dog family, my quotation for tonight comes from Across the Narrows. There will come a day when all the lies will collapse under their own weight and the truth will triumph again. And we spoke tonight about the lies, and we are concerned that when lies become strategy and deception becomes governance, we are not led, we are misled. And my Straight Talk family, we must demand better. We must hold our leaders accountable. And not only for their policies, but for their truthfulness. Let us go back to the lines and say good night to this caller. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good night, Patches. Yeah, good night, Patches, man. How you doing tonight, man?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. As a country grows, you know, as time goes forward, you know, we should be making changes. The lady there, I want to empathize with her. You know, Patches, based on how this lady calls in and complains, you know, it's been a death somewhere that is supposedly involving a police officer, right? Mm-hmm. You know, when such things like that happened in the United States, you know, the change came, and body cameras, the police officers, you know, body cameras was implemented. Is the department in Sinkits thinking about making and doing such things? You know, the complaints are coming in. Do the police officers in Sinkits, do they wear body cams at this time?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge.
So I mean, the whole world is advancing, man. We hooked up with Taiwan, and what are we really getting from Taiwan? What is Taiwan getting from the Federation? They're such an experts in technology and stuff like that. That's what we're supposed to be getting them to help us in the Federation to advance us with technology. Anyway, man, Patches, man, what's start bad morning, unlikely will finish good at night. What's in the dark is going to come to the light. Thank that lady for the quote for tonight. A lot of stuff is happening in the Federation, man. A lot of stuff is happening there. In such a small place, we need some more love in the place. We need some more love in the place. The politicians, they're acting like gangsters, and they must be their gang members. Change and progress must and should come. Me looking in from outside, I'm at an advantage. I don't have to promote no party line if I don't want to. What I'm seeing in the Federation continually is tribal. It's very tribal. The back and forth stuff every day, man. People are just trying to tear down their friends, tearing down their neighbors. You know what I mean? The politicians then tearing down each other. Man, the place needs some soul searching, man. We got corruption in our families, in the citizens, and in our politicians, our so-called leaders, because somebody told me just a couple of days ago he don't think they're leaders anymore. They're just politicians, politicking.
Yeah, but,
one person says,
"What you think?" I'm sorry to interrupt you. What do you think about the lies? The lies that the line is a definite strategy employed by terrorist group, and the outcome some is training.
Patches. Let me get back straight to it, man. As you asked that question, I put something out there a few nights back, a few of your episodes back. I bet you when this prime minister come on that round table, he's not going to say what the sale price of that marina was.
He did not.
And he did not.
Right.
And something as simple as that is not going to put him in a good light.
Yeah.
And he got to understand that. He has to. He must. He should. You know what I mean? No matter how much good you do, man, when you start doing wrong, people don't remember the good you do. And I got a special big brother that I talked to almost 100 times in one day. I don't know how that is possible, but I know he's listening tonight. And he got a poem. Even when I'm getting choked up here a little bit, man. Okay, but I'm saying, man, even when they're kicking you in your teeth, even when you're down and they're stamping you up and they're kicking you all in your mouth and busting up your teeth and kicking you in your eyes, even when they're kicking you in your teeth, still do good.
Okay, my brother.
Right? And honesty is a virtue, man.
Oh yes.
And the lies gotta stop. There's so much lies is coming out, especially with this recent Christoph Harbour deal.
Yep.
We can't figure the citizens can't figure out who's telling the truth anymore. But good character comes from the heart, and that's what we need in our leaders. Okay. And I'll leave it there. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for your normal interventions. Very straightforward and to the point. And my Straight Dog family, I'm imploring us not to become numb, not to become indifferent, because this fight for the truth is not a political fight. The fight for the truth is not about politics. It's about morality. It's a moral one. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding caller your live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night. Good night, my brother. How about thou?
I'm blessed. I just want to send out my deepest sympathy to Culture and his family and for the passing of Culture. We're going to miss him.
Yes.
I'm sure he'll be on your program when you have it. But anyhow, God in the midst of everything.
Yep.
Liburd, you have a caller coming in from the Virgin Islands, right? And speaking certain things that he doesn't know. When Dr. Timothy Harris was in Douglas administration, was he Minister of Finance? And then you also had Mr. Dwight Asafan was in the same ministry. How come everything is Dr. Harris from Dr. Timothy, the Prime Minister of this country? Everything in mouth is Dr. Harris. Mm-hmm. What happened to Dr. Douglas? You don't have anything to say bad about Dr. Douglas. Because these things happened under Dr. Douglas when he was the Prime Minister of this country. So he shouldn't be taking out his revenge on Dr. Timothy Harris. Take it out on other ministers of government underneath this same Dr. Douglas administration. And what Dr. Timothy Harris has done, the people in this federation, no other prime minister has done it. And I don't think they should be just bringing him down as though. Because if Donald Trump could go back into office, the same prime minister go back into office. Because he's a well-known man, and he's being liked by the people. And Dr. Joe and his administration need to get out and let the people in this federation get a good breathe. Need a good breathe. Because I have been asking you to get back into the administration of Dr. Timothy Harris to run certain affairs of the road projects and other things that you're capable of doing. And I think this country here will come back to what it was in 2015.
Okay, my brother. Thank you for...
Mr. Boy, as a friend, me and you are a good friend, but I'm telling you, he did a lot of corruption under Dr. Douglas. Because what about the Marriott? What about the Gulf Coast that was sold out to Marriott? What about the plant that went down to La Valley? You were a minister in Douglas administration and you know about a lot of these deals. So please come out and let the people know what went on under Dr. Douglas.
Okay.
So have a good night.
Have a good night as well, my dear brother. And we thank you as well. And as I said earlier, a very simple, straightforward question Drew avoided. This was the question.
Basically, what I'm asking is the involvement of Safe Harbor into the Christopher Harbor situation. How did they get involved? That's my first thing. Secondly, what was the sale price agreed upon between the parties, and was government involved in that negotiations?
Straightforward questions. Very straightforward questions. Let's go back to the line, which you refused to answer. Caller, I thank you for holding your line. Hello, caller.
Pleasant good night. Pleasant good night, Brother Patches.
Good night, my brother. Sounds like Ras Kalunji.
Yes, it's Ras Kalunji.
Yes.
I'd just like to give a shout out to everybody listening to Street Talk tonight and brothers and sisters in the African diaspora. I keep telling you, all of his thief, all of his lies, it's time to repent and atone for our sins.
Talk for yourself. Talk for yourself.
Including all of us. All of us.
You can't talk for all of us. Talk for Kalunji. When you reach before the judgment seat of Christ, right? It is said, you can't call no witnesses. You got to defend yourself, and you just maybe recompense for the things you have done. That's what the good book says. And you're aware
well, yeah, I'm aware of that, but you see, coming out of the African tradition, We have a saying in the Black Liberation Movement: we tell no lies and claim no easy victories. You understand? So, as Pan-African revolutionaries, we're not into that. We tell no lies to the people. You see? But I'm using that phrase to show you that the leadership that we have, you understand? It's just lies after lies. All of us in it, we need to repent and atone. You see? Because if you check out the Christopher Harbour deal, it's the same thing what was going on in the Sahel states, where the imperialists them keep exploiting and robbing us. And the brothers in the Sahel states said, this thing got to stop, corruption, everything has to stop. That, okay, for instance, Brother Goita Amali, he said, right, that when France was there helping them to so-called fight the jihadists, right, the terrorists then, he said they had them corner to wipe out and France step in and stop it. That's why he had to take over the country. He said he cried like a child, like a baby, to see that we had the opportunity to wipe them out and France step in and stop it. That's why they put France out of the country. But me ain't gonna go no further with that. We here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Movement for National Unity and the African Conscious Movement, we're having a mega meeting tomorrow for Africa First and AES SKN in support of Abraham Traore, AES and Africa. In the circus, the African Village, right? The 13th and the 27th of this month, from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're having an organization rally to organize our people about linking up with Burkina Faso and the Sahel states in order to get our citizenship from the AES, the Sahel states, right? We also want to talk about the Pan-African wallet. We want to create a cooperative where we put the money in a pool and put it in the Pan-African wallet. So in the Sahel states, we could raise the gold reserves so that we could get our own currency, the African currency, the Pan-African currency. So tomorrow in the African Village, right there in the circus in Basseterre, we want our people to come out because we start mobilizing and organizing our people. We want to send a delegation to the Sahel states so we could get our citizenship and invest in the Pan-African wallet. You understand? And create a movement here where we can link directly with the Sahel states because we're saying that the Pan-African revolution in full swing. So we're calling out to our people, it's time for us to unite. That's why we're talking about unity, you know. The only how we could defeat the imperialist forces, black people got to unite globally, and we're starting right here in the Federation. Okay, this being the 191st anniversary of emancipation. So give thanks, my brother.
Give thanks as well.
So we like to see you also.
12 p.m. you said? Okay.
Huh?
You just said 12
in the circle.
Okay.
From you could come. Well, we're starting around that, but you could come anyway in the evening when the real program starts.
Okay, my brother. I'll think about
it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, give thanks. I will let you see some of the listening audience also.
Give thanks, my brother.
So what Granny said, follow the leader. Abraham Traore is the leader. Give thanks.
Give thanks, my brother. That's 7 before the 10 o'clock hour as we wind down tonight's programming. I go back to the lines and I take this caller. You're live, caller. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I'm right here. I call you to find out. You could find the tape that when King Lawyer said that he have a shot for the snake of Nevis.
Have a what?
You could find it because I think in your own. You say he have a shot for the snake. You see him to the snake get the shot because it's what them right now act is I think he get the shot. If you realize King Lawyer, don't tell a lot of lawyers. He goes on all the radio station them and say he do I must say, look talk things and what's that when you don't deploy them. Say like okay, you want to tangle with things and bring in something else. If you notice him. Last week I hear a young guy when he was sick. And the guy asked him a question. I don't really remember the question that the guy asked him. You know, he turned to the guy and tell the guy, somebody just text that to you now. The question for you to ask, whether they text it to him, the parliament give him, whatever, he said he got a round table. Answer the question and stop the idiots. So whether they text it to him, yes or not, answer the question. You say you're going to text question and answer them. And stop asking people stupid question and act like civilized. Anything they back and see the noise now and you want to tangle with wins, he goes and tap all the radio station them to say hear the speech. Now why do you want to hear no speech from him? Because I show one person and going to take the lawyer where he tell lie. Have a good night.
Have a good night as well. And yes, it was I found it very offensive when he said this to the journalists. He said this, I recall that.
So, listen to the question you asked. I know somebody sent that question because it's heavily loaded, I can tell you. And that's okay if they send the question for you to ask.
Very offensive from a prime minister. Caller, I want to thank you for holding your live.
Greetings, Mr. Patches. How are you?
I am peaceful, my brother. Greetings. Yourself?
I'm very cool. Continue listening to you. Very productive program.
Thank you.
It is true that the concept of democracy is universally accepted. It is, however, no less true to say that there are as many types of democracies as there are nations in the world, since the underlying spirit of each type of democracy is imparted to it by the nation that put it into effect in its own individual and particular way. Democracy evolves by stages. Mr. Patches, when I look at the Observer for weekend gone, he said more questions than answers. Christopher Harbour D comes under intense scrutiny. And within the paragraph pertaining to the same issue, the usually maturity of the article where it's aligned the evidence from what you display tonight about the deal. And there shouldn't be no confusion to the people of the country pertaining the deal with Christopher Harbour. If there is a deal made by the former Prime Minister, it should be displayed in public that we can see the evidence of it.
True.
Instead of someone really saying a deal was made. Because if we really governing our democracy
conspiracy
to be an evolving democracy, we must do things to help to liberate our people.
Yep.
And publishing the deal otherwise than what you're publishing, if there's another deal, it would be helpful. Otherwise than that, I don't see any lies thereabout. There shouldn't be. We should change our lifestyle of our politics in this day and age. I mean, I say in 2015 we come about that more mature change. That's why we went in the unity administration. So in a use, we say, well, we having just a revolving democracy. Let us strive for an evolving democracy by publishing evidence to our people that we can read for ourselves. Mr. Patrick, you continue to be strong and stay fit. God bless.
God bless you as well. Thank you for your intervention. Yes, it's all about transparency. Publish it. You published on the SKNIS some fake email. Publish the EY report. That's an auditor's report. Publish the Grant Thornton report. You have all those reports, Terrence Joe. Patches, every time July goes to his favorite radio station, Freedom FM, the host always laughing up with him and not asking sensible questions. They let July just chat crap and then leave without asking him to explain anything. These people at Freedom FM are a waste of time. Country above self, not party, reads this email. And I'll take perhaps two more final calls and go to the lines. Caller, thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Are a waste of time.
Hello, caller.
Yes, Brother Patches. Good night again.
Good night.
This
sir.
is Mr. Welcome. This is Mr. Welcome. I'm going to be brief.
Please.
Patches, in everything government should do, remember they are the people. They come from the people, and they are the people. And I believe in transparency, but they don't. This administration don't, and previous administration did not neither. And for that reason, we are hearing PAM, Labour, NRP, CCM, PLP. And it seems like the other side, there is no room for no other party, whether it's independent. We all come in the name. I, for one, I'm coming in the name of the due diligence that is due and was promised and never deliver. So people who are shunning and trying to avoid to put down a new candidate, a new party, it is not acceptable in that way. It's not fair. That is selfish. But I am not going to go to the selfishness. I will keep my strive. And let me just explain how this independent party will be. This independent party starts from one man and opens for many more. And when the amount that should throw the independent over the threshold, we will be a body. Independent will harmonize in one harmony.
I've got you. Let's keep on topic because we're wrapping up now. I just wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. You're the first one. Congratulate.
Yes.
But independent is on the rise, and I must say congratulations for Mr. Rusty. That's the nickname, so everyone will know him.
Okay, thanks a lot for your intervention. Let's go back to the lines and I'm wrapping up now. I'm going to guide this caller by the rules of brevity. Caller, are you there? Okay, I've lost that caller. Yes, caller. I'm going to guide you by the rules of brevity. Can only
Patches.
15 seconds.
Patches. Let me just close it off for you tonight, man.
Please,
That gentleman that just called, and he want them deals in the public domain, and I'm going to back him up 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see how you come and you put your information on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
The Prime Minister, we don't see the Prime Minister doing that. And from the beginning of that Christoph Harbour stuff, the general public just need to get the original deal, whatever deal he's talking about Timothy made, and whatever deal that he did. And that sale of that marina, all that information should be published and put to the public.
Yes.
And that's the way how we should be moving forward as a federation.
Okay.
We are smart. We say we're so smart. Well, okay, put all this information in the public domain and let me read that for ourselves.
Okay, and we can read.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot, and you guys have a good night.
Have a good night as well. And I'll perhaps make this my final call for the night. Caller, you live.
Yes, I feel.
Yes, ma'am.
Let Mr. Welcome forget about the independent thing then. He up there, he will tell. If he want to know how independent go down here, tell him ask Japan
and Granny. They ask them independent go. How much vote they get? 2 and 1. So let him relax himself there. Have a good night.
Have a good night. And that's the way we're going to end it, of course, tonight as we wrap this show. If you have joined me late, we looked at our thesis tonight, a bunch of modern-day Dr. Goebbels. And above all things, we made the point that when asked questions, Jude never answers, and if he does, he provides no sensible answers. He never said what the sale price was. He told us about deductions. But truth be told, Terence Michael July abandoned his responsibility as Prime Minister, and Bratcher must have turned in his grave. Drew continued corruption. The corruption started by Denzel Douglas way back in 2005. 20 years ago. And 20 years later, he cannot look into the camera and tell the citizens of this country of St. Kitts and Nevis 2 simple things about the Safe Harbor Marina deal. 1, how much was it sold for, Dr. Drew? What was the sale price? And 2, how much money Buddy Darby kept from the sale? Instead of that, he comes and he glorifies Hadia Claxton. And a lawyer, yes. And we all know about the Nation of Islam, Dr. Drew, and the connections with Hadia's brother. We know all about that. He said Hadia Claxton helped to make the deal. And he thanked her. He thanked Hadia Claxton, my Straight Dog family. What did he say? I'm trying to find it before I leave so you can understand for yourself or for yourselves, my Straight Dog family. He said this, my Straight Dog family.
I want to thank Her Excellency Hadia Claxton, Special Envoy, for her tremendous work on this one. Because this is an American company of high repute. And she's a well-recognized lawyer in the United States, Harvard graduate, who went to school here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Do you know how much it would cost to get somebody like her to work on a deal like this in the United States of America? We can't pay her.
But did you pay her? Did she work free? Is a question we ask. We are not going to be fooled for how much money you pay a lawyer like her. Right here in St. Kitts, lawyers made plenty money. Millions. Delano Bat made millions. We don't know if this was all he made, but this was reported by the EY audit report, which you have in your possession, Terrence Drew. $3 million that went into the pocket or pockets of Delano Bat. It's there on your monitors. Yes, my Straight Dog family. $3 million. And he was not the only one to make money or to make millions. Michael Martin made millions from the SIDF as well. Yes. They all made money. So, we are asking, did Hadia Claxton work for free? You are close to her. Tell us if she worked for free. My Straight Dog family. Well, Terence and Michael Drew and his cabinet wants to keep us on these 2 islands surrounded by a sea of ignorance. And as our island of knowledge grows, so does the sea, or seashores of ignorance. And my straight dog family, Drew was trained in a country, as I said to you before, that never promoted democracy. He was educated under a strict communist regime. He was taught that control must be centralized and that opposition is not a sign of a healthy democracy, but a threat to be neutralized. And that is why, or that is exactly what you did to Mark Brantley. He neutralized him. And the reason we have no opposition in Parliament. Drew and his cabinet are a bunch of modern day Dr. Goebbels, my straight dog family, who once said, "A lie told once remains a lie, but a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth." That is how they think. They tell us so many lies. And my straight dog family, we have to understand that governance is not about ownership of ideas, but about stewardship of progress. When we inherit a vision that aligns with national interests, it is not just prudent, but essential to continue it, my straight dog family. We must remain vigilant, therefore, because democracy is not just about elections. It's about openness, accountability, and the ability to disagree without fear. So let us defend it, not just from external threats, but from those within who were taught a different way and never truly let it go. My straight dog family, we must hold on to truth in the time of deceit. Lies steal more than facts. They steal trust, my straight dog family. And they steal our ability to stand together on common ground. We must, my straight dog family, we must speak up for truth, for accountability, for the values that make a society just and strong. It is easy to dismiss lies as just words, but when a leader lies like when a horse is trotting, naturally, constantly, without shame, it becomes a form of control. A culture of deceit becomes a weapon, and a society that accepts lies without resistance is a society that begins to lose itself. Let us not become numb. Let us not become indifferent. The fight for truth is not a political fight. It's a moral one. And it belongs to all of us. We must be the ones who say enough. Enough distortion, enough manipulation, enough pretending that leadership without integrity is leadership at all. My straight dog family. Terence Michael Drew abandoned us. And my straight dog family, Terence Michael Drew and his cabinet wants to keep us on these two islands surrounded by a sea of ignorance. And as our island of knowledge grows, so does the seashores of ignorance. And we must say, hell no, to this bunch of modern day Goebbels. And that's my story tonight, my straight dog family. And I am not going to change it. I must thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight. As always, I must thank you, the many listeners. And remind you that all of you, whether who called, who listened, who viewed, or who sent emails, You are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. Again, we say condolences to the family of our Straight Talk patriarch Vincent Culture Benjamin. He left us with many, many sound bites, and this is one I'll leave you with.
There are three kind of behavior of the human being that I don't like. And the Bible warns that all men are liars. It did not mean the gender of a man. It means mankind. So I don't like people to tell lies, and I don't like people to thief, and I don't like procrastinators. Those three I don't like. And now, the leader of the government of St. Nevis, Dr. Joe, he like to talk and say, oh, we can do this, I can do that, and then he break ground for this, he break ground for that, he break ground for all kind of thing, and nothing going up. Nothing. And if he know definitely that he cannot do them, don't say you're going to do them. Things could happen. Disappointment does happen when you start to build a house and you have to stop and go back again. But he know definitely that he don't have the expertise or the money, whatever it is to build them. And he give people the wrong impression. They can build 600 houses in a year. And up to now, 2 cannot be completed. So I'm saying this, Dr. Joe, please be honest to yourself.
Yes, my Straight Talk family. We say goodbye, culture. And I say goodbye and good night. Until we connect on Monday for another edition of Straight Talk. Be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. And remember, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you must believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light and thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Monday.
In the morning.